I started my Jane Austen fabric book. Each of Jane Austen's heroines gets a 2-page spread. This is part 1. Hi, I'm Becky and I make quilting videos. I kicked off my Jane Austen fabric book with Emma Woodhouse from the novel Emma. I had to locate Emma on this cute girl motif fabric. This is fussy cutting and applique. Might as well pile up difficult techniques all on one project. Emma is beautiful and rich and smart. She is the star of her world. Unfortunately, she's also snobbish, intellectually bored, and lonely. I'm gonna go iron her, but I'm not sure it's gonna help. You could just practically hear her screaming. So for Emma's 2 pages, they're going to be side by side, like this, facing pages of this book. I mean, she can take up a lot of the foreground on one side of it, and I want to make her an outfit. And on the other side, I would like it to be her home, Hartfield. I'm thinking that this fabric will be the building, and I will add onto it with stitching and with other fabrics. I swapped out the fabric color of the house. I don't know how I'm going to sew these on. Maybe I glue them on and then I still don't know. How about if I go like this? All right. You know, there are no cats in Jane Austen, but there should be. Emma treated Harriet, as well as others, including Mr. Elton, as playthings, as props in her life. So I created a little puppet Harriet and a puppet Elton. I'm just going to give you some music for this sequence. Okay, I have lots of mess, but Mr. Elton and Harriet. This is the house that I was trying to put on here, and it was just getting too elaborate. So this is what I'm doing. I'm actually embroidering, which I'm just going to tell you, this is not my deal. I drew the details on here, and I'm just doing a running stitch I may put in a little bit, I may get a Sharpie. This is not, oh God, Mr. Elton's hanging on to me. Get off me, sir. Excuse me. Okay, here is Hartfield. Black thread like this is sometimes called black work when you do black thread on, I think it's usually on white, but let's say this is black work because it makes it sound like something kind of official. Anyway, we've got Emma's manner. I always planned to switch her back to blonde, so I did, but the gray background on this fabric does not give a lot of contrast, and I don't think an outfit is going to help. I had a vision. I don't think I need to say that. I was overly confident about my skills and of the size of that fabric rectangle. I'm not sure why there's no sound on this video clip. Let's assume I was apologizing for Emma's gigantic bow dress and maybe giving some explanation for why Harriet is floating in the air above Mr. Elton. Emma was my first Jane Austen heroine, and after her, I turned my attention to Fanny Price. And in the most horrifyingly appropriate way, Fanny gets nearly no footage. Emma had exhausted me. So I have a little clip of me doing some running stitches around Fanny, but that is all we have for the heroine of Mansfield Park. It was not on purpose, but this is probably the most appropriate homage to her, neglected and forgotten. But here are a few details for her. A stamp, since letters were so important to her. A fish from growing up on the docks. The cross and the necklace from the time she was seriously betrayed. The fruits of her labor, which her aunt always stole. And then the owls represent the danger outside, lots of danger. After Fanny, I made the front cover of the book. I drew letters that fit together, and then I cut them out to use as templates for the fabric. It was fun to finally use some of the Jane Austen fabric I had ordered. Then I made a little dress for Jane, and I put a little batting behind her to give her some dimension. When I stitched the letters down, I lost part of the N, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I may leave it or I may try to fix it. And that wraps up part 1 of my Jane Austen fabric book video. Next time I will be tackling other Jane Austen heroines. Can you guess who this is? The fabric book will have room for 9 of Jane Austen's heroines. She only wrote 6 books. One of them has two heroines, and I'm not going to use Northanger Abbey. So I'm going to have space for 3 secondary characters to step up as heroines on one of these pages. Jane Bennet for sure, I think. But who else? Who would you use? Who would you promote to heroine? Thanks for being here, and see you next time. Bye. I'm afraid the ironing aged her a bit, although it came out better than I was thinking it was going to. Say hi to the folks.